back to Fox 43 AM Live. She's the founder of the best-selling Simplified Planner series and now has released her first ever cookbook, the Simplified Cookbook, Delicious Meals with Effortless Prep. Please welcome Emily Ley. Good morning.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's great to have you on the show. I'm very excited to talk about this cookbook. But first, I want to say, Emily, it's said you've built an empire out of helping women and families keep their life organized. Was a cookbook just the next kind of logical step for you?
Not at all, actually. My whole career has been about simplifying and organizing busy and complicated parts of life. But the one thing that always tripped me up was dinner time, because I have 3 kids and a husband and a dog, and they all want to eat multiple times a day. And I don't love spending tons of time in the kitchen mincing and chopping and washing dishes. So truly, this book was made for people like me who just want to eat good food and get it on the table fast.
I love that you said that. I'm very relatable. I have a 5-month-old at home now, and dinner time is the every day, the constant question of, what are we doing? It's a juggling act. So what in your cookbook is kind of able to help with that juggling act, really?
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of the cookbook is the very beginning. It's a little section called Kitchen Notes, and it's where we cover in really short essays and tactical tips about how to deal with some of those pain points in the kitchen, like feeding picky eaters, or when you're a kid Ubering parent and you're going from soccer to ballet and all the things. Those things are the things that trip me up the most, and so we get really tactical there before we dive into 60 recipes, 60 assembly meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert. It is truly, hopefully, a book that people will feel very capable in the kitchen once they pick up.
And how simple are some of these recipes, or how complicated are the recipes at that? I open a cookbook and then I order a pizza instead.
You know what? I am the exact same way. Don't tell me a recipe is easy and then tell me I have to start getting out like 15 bowls, because that ain't gonna work. We're gonna order pizza also. These recipes are 6 ingredients or less, most of them, and they take less than 10 to 15 minutes to prep. And I like to say that they are stupid easy. I mean, they are so simple and so easy and made with such staples that you most likely already have around. I have 10-year-old twins, and one of my 10-year-olds loves to cook these recipes, and it absolutely blew my mind. It was not part of the goal of this book, but she is pretty capable in the kitchen and can open it up, pick one, and get to work.
That is wonderful. I know I've been reading a lot lately about, when raising kids, trying to get them to eat more, you want them to help you in the kitchen. So with these simple recipes, that's a great avenue.
Yeah, listen, my best life hack is other people in the kitchen, truly.
And so you mentioned picky eaters. I was a picky eater when I grew up. I hope my son Augie would not be a picky eater. What hacks are there for picky eaters in the cookbook that we'll find?
Well, we have picky eaters here, but my pickiest eater is actually my 45-year-old husband. And so what we do in our house is we take a no thank you bite. I like to say that nobody ever liked a mushroom after you force them to eat it. So we pick our battles, but take a no thank you bite. If you want to keep eating it, you can. If you don't, you can say no thank you and move on. So it's really a game of picking your battles.
Yes, picking my battles. I'll keep that in mind for the future. And so, with this cookbook, what's been your personal favorite, the meal that you've made out of the book?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. There are pumpkin muffins in here that are 3 ingredients, and they're so good. One of my favorites is one we actually had recently. It's called cowboy soup, and it is so easy. It's stuff that I can always keep on hand, and it's the first recipe that I ever made on my own from my mom that I was able to make just out of my head. I didn't have to look at a recipe card, so it's kind of fun to have that one in there.
I'll have to get that one a shot then. I definitely want to check out your book, again, to make my life a little bit simpler as I enter parenthood. My last question, I guess, Emily, is just any advice out there for the parents that are, trying to juggle their life, trying to keep things organized? Is there a secret to it?
No, there's not. It's funny. I write the books I need to read for myself, and I make the tools I need to read for myself because I have so much going on, like all of us. And so I always like to say that balance and this thing that we're after, it doesn't exist. So we got to give ourselves the grace and the permission to constantly be shifting our weight from left to right, prioritizing the things that matter most, and the rest of it, trying to find ways to make it easier.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. And as I enter the kitchen with the simple recipes, if I burn it, I just know that is the way of life, and I will go to a different recipe and figure it out from there.
Absolutely. Yep.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Well, Emily, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It has been such a pleasure chatting with you. And everyone, please follow Emily on Instagram at Emily Ley. And of course, get the Simplified Cookbook, Delicious Meals with Effortless Prep, today wherever books are sold. Emily, thank you again.